Okay, here we have it. You know, I am both a lettering artist, hand lettering, and a calligrapher. And the distinction between the two is so important. If you do not make a distinction between a drawn letter and a written letter, it is either because of a lack of experience or a lack of the sense of responsibility as an educator. Okay? Do these letters look the same to you? Hardly. I mean, there's some similarity. It's the same letter. This one is drawn. Okay? When you draw, you use drafting tools. You know? Like this. You use T-squares. You use triangles and T-squares. Sometimes you may have a little assistance from a French curve. Or a template of some kind. But not always. This letter, on the other hand, was written. It was not drawn. You got that? In this particular letter, I use this brush, and with single strokes, I create this, and then I go here, in a certain order, and then I go here. Now, this letter took me less than 2 minutes to write that. Of course, it was endless practice before I got it this good. This letter took about 2.5 hours, even without all the descriptions. So if you look real close, you can see there's all kinds of details. Okay, is drawn so that it can later be inked as a font or a font perfect logogram or regular logo. Okay, all kinds of details. I even went so far as to put the harmonic proportions between the weights, thick in relation to thin. The thick stroke, here's the thin stroke. Then the thin stroke in relation to the serif thickness, which are roughly golden in proportion, meaning that the point of intersection would be the difference between those two weights. You can see here how I made these orange lines are like guidelines from templates, circle templates and oval templates. But you can see that they were just guides. I didn't go over it mechanically. I drew it freehand, so there's an organicness to that. And without those guidelines, it would not be as perfect. Okay, so this is the art of hand lettering. This is the art of calligraphy. Big difference. Okay, now, I want to show you these books. I have lots of stuff to show you guys. Okay, now, these two are very fine books, written by very fine people. Don't get me wrong. I'm not criticizing the content of the book or the people, because I love these books. However, if you look at this, it's kind of hard to see. It says, Bible of Illuminated Letters, a treasury of decorative calligraphy. Look at those letters. That is not calligraphy. That's drawing. Those letters have been drawn and then painted in. They were not written. So this book is incorrect. The title is incorrect. It is not decorative calligraphy. It's decorative illumination. In the old days, they used to call these capitals that with like headings on manuscript pages versal letters, and they are not written. They're drawn and then painted. Okay, so that's wrong. It's not a collection of decorative calligraphy. It's lettering, hand lettering. Okay, so they're wrong. This book is, look at those letters. They're written. They're all written. They are not drawn. And here it says 100 complete alphabets and how to draw them. That is incorrect. We care about our future generations and the evolution of this art form. We have to get those terms correct. Okay, now I'm going to show you the difference again. These are some of my work. This is calligraphy, written with a pointed brush. You know, basic strokes. Very little retouching. No drawing at all. Okay, just different versions of the same logo. Okay, this looks real clean. Looks like it could have been drawn, but it was written with a little bit of help with a T-square and triangle. Okay, this is calligraphy. See that? That was for a film. Again, from a pointed brush. I wrote those letters, did not draw them. Okay, it took me 15 minutes to make this. Of course, there was lots of trial and error before that, hours. Here's some of my calligraphy, like comps for murals and big scale paintings. It's all written. There's some drawing in the background, but these letters have been written, not drawn. Again, some more writing, calligraphic writing. Oh, sorry about the bounce. Okay, now let's look at some drawing. See this? These letters were painstakingly drawn. Took me about 3 days. Okay, hours and hours and hours. This is hand lettering. It's not writing. This is drawn. Okay. I didn't write those letters with a brush or a calligraphy pen. I drew them with a pencil. Outline. What distinguishes drawing from writing has a lot to do with just the idea that you're outlining and then filling in. Now these are all pencil drawings. Here's another one for a sign. And here's another one. And once these get selected, you then put paper over them, like vellum, and then ink them real carefully with a pen in drafting style, okay? Or you can scan it and finish it up in the computer, which is still drawing. A couple other samples. Drawing. Now this is just a pencil drawing, and it will be scanned but not re-inked, just vectorized later, and so it can be printed. And this one too, another pencil drawing, and you can get pencil drawings to look almost like inkings. You can tell clearly this was drawn, not written. Drawn, not written. Here's this one. Okay, that's a pencil drawing, which I then put a sheet of vellum on top and then inked every line by hand. Okay, it took 4 weeks. All right, now I want to show you this. Just bear with me. We got a lot of things to show you. This is a very vital lesson. Okay. I used to work at this company called Photo Lettering. It's called their alphabet collection. They're about, must be about 10,000 alphabets in here. See all these letters? They were, every single letter was hand drawn in this catalog. These are fonts and alphabets. Font meaning a full system of typographic forms and weight, you know, in a specific weight and style, and alphabet meaning just usually A through Z. capitals. Every single one was hand drawn. None of this is calligraphy. None of it. Okay. This font, my teacher Ed Ben-Gat did when I was working there. Bookman. Each one of these versions, Bookman Medium Italic, Bookman Medium, Bookman Light, Light Italic, these were drawn by hand, okay? They're not calligraphy. They weren't cast in metal either. Now, there are times when it overlaps. For example, in this design for the Cheech Marin Museum, based on Cheech's signature, I stylized it calligraphically with calligraphy pen, okay? Later, because it was to be used as a logo and had to have a perfect edge, I then put a sheet over this and then hand drew it. I made the outline first, and then I filled it in. So this is a little bit is hand lettering based on writing. Here's another one, just sort of based on a font that pre-exists. I sort of, again, stylized a little bit. This is an actual inking drawn that I put on a light box over my calligraphy and then outlined it and then filled it in. Okay. So now you know the difference between the drawn letter and the written letter. Okay. I really feel it's really important to make that distinction because people depend on that distinction to make their living. Not only that, you know, if you're a teacher and you fail to clarify the difference, you're doing the art a disservice, okay? And you're propagating ignorance, okay? So this is extremely important. Maybe we should call hand letterers illuminators, so they have a title. I'm not sure. We have a title for calligraphy called calligraphers who do that. Okay? So there it is. I hope you've learned something from this. Happy to share it with you.